What do you do when you can't escape your thoughts? Oftentimes when we're caught in a loop of negative thinking, we think that every thought we have, we must align with. We think something and we follow that train of thought even if we know it'll lead us down to a negative emotion. The vast majority of times when we think something, we don't stop to see if it's true. We just align with it and allow it to take us down the path to a negative emotion. Even if we know it'll lead to a negative emotion, we just allow it to bring us there because we're on autopilot. In psychology, this is called cognitive fusion. It's assuming that every thought that you think must be true, or you must follow it down that path. Or it's not even thinking that because you're just doing it. You're on autopilot and you're not thinking about your thoughts. You're just allowing them to take you down the path of the negative emotion. So cognitive diffusion is the opposite of that. It's looking at your thoughts rather than from them. It's objective examination of the thoughts rather than immersion in them. So you notice your thoughts rather than getting caught up in them. So in other words, it's letting your thoughts come and go without holding on to them. So cognitive diffusion works by changing the way we interact with our thoughts. So instead of holding on to each thought tightly, subconsciously somehow, but like holding on to each thought that arises and having to walk down the path it takes you on, you're able to notice that you're thinking it and recognize if it's true or productive to be thinking that thought. Instead of holding on to them tightly and letting them dictate our feelings and behaviors, we can observe it with a friendly curiosity. Let me explain with an example. So let's say you're getting ready for a party and you start to think, I'm really anxious. Well, cognitive fusion would cause you to just be really anxious and continue to think about your anxiety and spiral and worry about worst case scenario. Whereas cognitive diffusion, you would notice that you're having the thought. So in your brain, you think, I'm really anxious, and then boom, right then, you're like, oh, I'm noticing that I'm having the thought that I'm really anxious. And in that moment, you have a choice to choose which perspective you want to have. Yes, of course, part of you feels anxious. There's no denying that. But I'm sure there's another part of you that's excited or interested in meeting the people that are there, whatever it is. And so you have the choice there to recognize both parts of you that feel differently. Like, yes, the anxiety is loudest right now because it feels so urgent, but there's another part of you that is just as valid that's feeling a different emotion. Now, obviously, this is much easier said than done. Just because you notice there's another part of you doesn't mean you're immediately no longer going to feel the anxiety. But you can make it a habit to recognize when you're beginning to feel a negative emotion, which will in turn allow you to choose a more well-balanced perspective. So if in the moment when you begin to feel a negative emotion, you can stop, notice a shift within your body or your brain. Like, where do you feel it in your body? For me, if I get angry or anxious, I typically feel it in my chest. I feel like a tightening sensation, like of warmth, whatever it is. And